The return of the Farmington football program to statewide prominence culminated last year with a 10-3 record, a narrow loss in the Class 4 state quarterfinal, and their first district championship since 2011. The Knights finished the season ranked 10th in the state. And like any successful program, Farmington lost quality talent to graduation, like all-staters running back Royce Harris, defensive end Rothman Harrison, cornerback Eli Lamb. However, they bring back a core of tremendous leaders. When he looks into the middle of his triple option offense, Coach Erik Kruppe sees Judd Cunningham at center, Kaden Files at quarterback, and 1,300-plus yard rusher Braden Botkin at fullback.
It is a big deal. He's getting better every year. He's learning the offense and really understanding it more every year. Kaden does a great job. The fact that he's going to be a 3-year starter now gets us great experience underneath center. That whole cylinder, that whole interior of our offense, when you look at, we return our center, our quarterback, and our F, that's the engine that makes it go, so to speak. And, to have those three back is a real blessing for our program.
Cunningham has confidence that the rest of his line mates will help to lift the unit to last year's level.
Logan Maxon and Kale switched in a little bit last year, but Logan Maxon, he's coming back. He's our right guard. He usually played everywhere on the offensive line last year. He just subbed in everywhere he could. But Logan's going to be a big asset for us on the offensive line. But other than that, we got Grant Larkins. He's impressed me a little bit. Then we got Tyler Williams. He's also a running back, but he's switching in on the offensive line positions. He's going to be pretty good too.
Files returns for his third year commanding the offense, and he says there's no substitute for experience.
The more you do it and the more you're around it, the more you understand it, and you understand, the things that Coach Hayne and them are telling you, they make sense, and you start to process it yourself. And, you can own it. You can honestly call plays and make decisions without them having to tell you. It makes sense.
Farmington lost their outside burners, but Coach Kruppe's confident that the next batch is ready to go.
Well, when you lose people like Royce Harris and Damon Guthrie, and then you look at your X and Z receivers and Eli Lamb and Sam Nicholson, those are all great kids, great football players. But I think we've got a bunch of kids that will fill in and get the job done. Drew Felker, who I know was our backup quarterback and starting safety last year, he's going to play that wing position for us, along with Wyatt Westbrook. Carter Barnes is somebody that has quite a bit of experience, and he's coming back. All those people can do some things with the ball in their hand, and then you look on the perimeter, and people like Jake Bishop and Isaiah Robinson and guys like that. Kale Krause is a returner as well. All those guys, they're going to be threats on that perimeter.
The Knights return 4 starters on both sides of the ball, but Coach Kruppe also sees promise on the defensive side.
Yeah, Judd's a special football player. Judd Cunningham and both Kale Krause return as starters along our defensive front. And we've always prided ourselves on having quick, agile defensive linemen. We like to move them quite a bit and use that to create issues for offenses. So they return. You look at kids like Logan Maxon, Jaden Euler as kids to come in and step up and help provide, more bodies along that defensive front. They've done a good job this summer. Going back to the defensive backfield, 2 of the 4 starters that we do return are safeties, which Wyatt Westbrook and Drew Felker both have plenty of experience at the safety position. With what we do on defense, it really is a safety-driven defense because they're a primary run support. They've got to make all our coverage checks, and to have 2 returners at those 2 positions is big for our defense.
Braden Botkin will pull double duty this year. In addition to his duties at fullback, he'll help to man the linebacking unit.
I'll be an outside linebacker, and I'm not nervous for, the whole defense myself. It'll be my first time playing linebacker in a starting position since 8th grade year, so it'll be new for me. But I'm trying to learn because I've been playing middle linebacker all of high school, so it'll be new for me to learn outside linebacker this year. And which has a lot more, pass coverage and stuff like that.
Brady Cook and Tyler Williams will run alongside Botkin at that linebacker level. Special teams have been a difference maker in the resurgence of Farmington football, and there's a chance this may be the best unit yet. Kale Krause leads the special teams unit as a 4-year starter at kicker and a 3-year starter at punter.
He set a school record for longest field goal, and I believe that was in our district championship game last year. So we know he's got the leg, we know he's got the range, he's very consistent with his extra points, does a great job directionally kicking when we punt. One of the biggest plays of the season, I believe, was in our first quarter of the district semifinal game against Festus, him pinning the punt down at the 1 yard line and setting us up in a situation where Carson Sutton on the second play of defense is able to get a safety and really set the tone for that football game.
Krause says if you get him past midfield, you'll have a chance at points.
Inside of 55, I would say I'm pretty confident there. And then if it'd be pushing it inside of 60 would be a pretty good shot there.
And even with the pandemic changing routines, Wyatt Westbrook says the team has done a good job making athletic gains during the offseason.
We have off-season workouts, and then we have lifting year-round, so just been in the weight room and then out on here on the field with Coach Kruppe and a bunch of the other guys.
The Knights will feature a new addition to game night at Hale Memorial Stadium. Crews are busy constructing a grand entrance on the north side that should be ready for the season.
It's going to really beautify an already beautiful facility, and the district just continues to upgrade and upgrade and upgrade every year, and we couldn't be happier and more appreciative for what they're doing to this facility.
You can listen to Farmington football all year once again on AM 800 KRAI and myMOinfo.com. The Knights start the season August 28th at North County, then come home for 2 against Potosi and Sykeston. Their longest road trip comes in Week 4 to Hayti. The Knights are at home against Cape Central in Week 5. Then it's at Poplar Bluff and Jackson to wrap up SEMO North play. Farmington will host Festus in Week 8 and concludes the regular season at Park Hills Central. Start every Friday night of football with the Fleegs Equipment pregame show and wrap it up with the Home Pools and Spas End Zone show. I'm Chad Speaker for Regional Radio Sports.
What do you think about that?